My name is BruceClosser. I'm 76, almost 77 years old, and I ride these trails a lot. I'm actually born in Marquette, so I'm a Marquette native. I haven't always lived here, but I've been here since the 1970s. So I started mountain biking when I was in my 50s, and there aren't a lot of us my age riding because, you know, how many people take up a sport like mountain biking when they're in their 50s? You know, very, very few. And actually we were riding some of the South Trails before they were the South Trails. You know, they were just trails. They're hiking trails, and I've learned since that some of them are Paleo-Indian trails that have been there for, you know, several thousand years, and now we're riding bikes on them. It just makes me feel good, you know? It's such a restorative exercise that it combines so many things. You know, there's a little adrenaline in it, and sometimes, and I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie, I'll admit. There's fitness, and there's being out communing with nature. It's a silent sport. It checks so many boxes that I just feel good when I'm done. You know, I've never regretted a ride ever, but I've often regretted not going out on a ride. So in addition to my age, I have Parkinson's disease. Okay, so Parkinson's is a movement disorder. Basically, it comes from a lack of a chemical called dopamine in your brain. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter. It helps the brain. It doesn't help. It allows the brain to communicate with the rest of your body. I mean, I knew for several years, 4 or 5 years before that something was going on. It wasn't good, and it was getting worse. And looking back, I can see that a lot of things were early symptoms of Parkinson's, like I was riding clipless pedals, and I was having trouble getting out of my pedal on my right side. And I went down, I fell, clipped in a number of times until finally I decided this is stupid, I'm really going to hurt myself. So I switched to flat pedals, and that took care of that problem. I often say Parkinson's is a series of small bad surprises, okay? It's a downhill run, okay? It's a degenerative disease. It gets worse, and eventually if you don't die from something else, you're gonna die from it, okay? That's just the way it is. So what you try to do is make it progress as slowly as possible, you know, and try to manage it, knowing that, you know, that's where it's headed. And I've had plenty of these small bad surprises to know what they're like, you know. But over the last year to year and a half maybe, I've had symptoms get better. And that's not supposed to happen in Parkinson's. One of the hallmarks of Parkinson's is a tremor, okay? And it typically starts in your hand. It's this kind of thing, you know, and it can get worse, you know. And I had a tremor. It wasn't real bad, but it was definitely there, and it's gone away. I no longer have the tremor. There's something magic about the bike. I don't know what it is, but we know in Parkinson's that pedaling is good. There are pedaling for Parkinson's programs all over the country. There's one in Marquette at the YMCA. But when I step on the pedals of my bike, and I get up on the pedals and get on my bike, everything is fine. It's like balance, no problem. You know, there's something magic going on here. Like I said, I don't know what it is, but I'm convinced that this is what's making me better. And I think it's something about the decisions you make online. I mean, this is anecdotal. I don't know how they would ever study it, because how many 76, 77-year-old guys are on the trails to begin with? Or if they are on the trails, how many people are riding Wildcat? Okay, you know, and then how many of those have Parkinson's? It's the trails that enable me to do what I do. And the fact that I'm living, you know, a quarter mile from a trailhead, you know, it's pretty nice. I mean, people drive hundreds of miles to get the benefits that I have in my backyard. And I've traveled, you know, a lot of places in the United States, and there are very, very few places that have anything close to what we have right here. And this is, the trails, you know, it's more than just just recreation for me now. It's my life. You know, and I try to impress on our kids when we're riding with them the amount of work that it takes to make something like these trails is, and having worked on the trail, I can appreciate it now, that it just doesn't happen. It's a huge amount of work to create these trails, and for NTN to have taken this on and kept up this sustained program for this long, and just getting better all the time. I'm so grateful that this organization is here, you know, and for what they do. I thank you. I'm BruceClosser, and I am a trail user.